Hello, my name's Emily, I'm from Go Obstacle, and today we are working in our high rep zones. So we'll be working in 50 seconds for our work phase and just a minimal 10 seconds in our rest phase. So that's today's workout. So let's get started. You don't need any equipment, just your own body. Starting in 5 seconds, standing in a really nice upright position, chest nice and high. I'm going to take the feet underneath the hips. We're going to do a crossover lunge, sweeping the arms forward. So we're just waking up those glutes with this crossover lunge, and we're warming up those shoulder joints. So keeping that chest nice and high, we're going to start to engage your abs. So with every single move you do today, you'll be squeezing those ab muscles, making sure they're fully activated and they're working efficiently. All right, just another 15 seconds on this move before we go into a squat and a diagonal reach. So keep yourself moving, driving up with the heel of your foot on that front leg. 3, 2, 1. Right, take the feet a little bit wider. Shoulder roll back so that chest is nice and high. We're going to go into a squat and a diagonal reach. So squat down nice and low, diagonal reach. Squat down and reach. And as you're reaching, I want you to stretch out this torso. So we're creating space where we're breathing. We're also stretching out the hips, the legs, ready for our work set. Your feet should be flat on the floor as you're down in the squat position. Driving up with the heels of your feet and squeezing those glutes at the top. Just another 10 seconds. All right, nice and steady. 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet in. We're going to march on the spot. We're going to take it to a hip opener. So it's sort of a knee tuck, but bringing that knee round. So bringing that knee round, up and round. And we're going to add in some arm circles. So a bit of coordination today. So warming up those hips, opening up those hips as well. Really important. So we get good squat form. Nice deep lunges today. Warming up that upper body as well. Stretching out the chest, which the chest can get a little bit tight, especially if we're sitting over a computer a lot of the time. 10 seconds. Keep it going, and then we're dropping it down onto the floor. 3, 2, 1. Maybe down on the mat. We're going to go into some slow mountain climbers. Have your hands underneath your shoulders. Shoulders down away from the ears. Step back into a straight arm plank. I'm going to bring the knee in. And it's nice and steady. I want you to really squeeze those lower abs as you're bringing your knee in. Good work. So we're working on our shoulder stability. Make sure those shoulders aren't up by the ears. We want to bring them down. 20 seconds. Keep it going. Breathing out every time that knee comes in towards the torso. 10 seconds left on this one. Keep it going. We're almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to take it into a plank position. Now you can do a kneeling variation or a full plank. So have the elbows underneath the shoulders. Take the knees all the way back, and if you're in a kneeling plank, you're just going to stay here. Now perhaps you're going to go into full plank, and if you're able to go into full plank, we're going to take it to a pike. So we're going to push through the elbows, bring the hips up to the ceiling, come back down and squeeze those abs. Try not to go too far down You still want the hips in line with the shoulders. Push up through the elbows, back down. Good, good, good. Squeeze those abs. Shoulders down away from the ears. Hopefully we're feeling a little bit warmer. Last few seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, well done. Okay, so we've activated and stretched out those muscles that we're working in today. What we're going to do is move on to our very first drill. So we're 2 exercises back to back, 3 sets in total. Okay, so your 2 exercises for this main drill are either slow or a fast burpee. So stand at the top of your mat, shoulders down and back, engage those abs. I want you to bend your knees. If your heels lift off the floor, that's okay. Place your hands down. Step back into that straight arm plank. And you can either step in or you can jump in. Okay? Now, if you want to take it to the next level, bend the knees, hands down onto the ground, jump out, jump in. You can even do a jump up, depending on what space you've got. That's exercise number 1. Now we're going to work on your back. This is really important for posture. So we're going to stand up nice and tall. We're going to hinge at the hip. We're going to sweep the arms forward. And we're going to draw the elbows down the back, down by the sides of the back. Now that's called a W. So imagine you're creating the letter W with your arms. Now we're going to go up, bring the hands down. I'm going out to the sides to create a T. So imagine the letter T. Sweeping up, W, sweeping up, back down, T. Okay, are we ready? 3 rounds in total, 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds rest. Starting in 5 seconds. Starting at the top of the mat, I've been demonstrating the step out burpee. Hands down onto the floor. Step in straight arm plank, step back in, reach up. Now we're going to do it with speed. Okay? Now remember, the burpee is a core move. So when you're in that straight arm plank position, squeeze your abs. Okay, this is great for working on mobility as well. That hip mobility, working on the flexibility of the legs. Need good flexibility in the calves. And if you do have tightness, that flexibility will come, okay? So just keep it going. 10 seconds. Again, if your heels are off the floor, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. All right, so standing up nice and tall, take a few deep breaths. Remember, we're gonna hinge at the hip. Keep that chest up nice and high. Arms sweep forward, creating a W. Arms up, down, create the T. Sweep forward, W. Back up again, T. All right, I want you to just keep going with that sequence. Now, do not let your abs disengage. And by that, I mean, do not stop squeezing your abs. Because when you're in this hinge position, this bent over position, it's very core intensive. So you're actually working on your abdominals, you're working on your back strength. Make sure that chest is nice and high. Try not to round the back. That completely takes away from the move. All right, 10 seconds. That was round number 1. So we have the technique now. All we got to do now is perfect it. So ready, 3, 2, 1, off we go. Hands down into that straight arm plank. Reach up. Going for speed. Remember to squeeze the abs. Everything we're doing today, we're engaging those abs. So, keep it going. Find a pace that you can maintain that is also challenging. We're working well, we're working fast. Hands should be directly underneath your shoulders. 15 seconds. We're going to keep it going. Don't slow it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. 10-second rest. Well done. Right, come on. Here we go. Stand up nice and tall. 3, 2, 1. Hinge. Arm sweep up. W. Arm sweep up. Into T. There we go. Now remember what we're doing. We're working our back muscles, right? So keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Don't let those shoulders compensate for you using those back muscles. I want you to focus on the areas that you're squeezing into. So between the shoulder blades and that T move, down by the sides of the back and the middle part of the back, on that W move. Keep those shoulders down and back, chest nice and high. We got 3 seconds left. 3 seconds. And time. Woo! Well done. Third and final round. Remember, you can up the ante by adding in a jump. Ready, off we go. Perhaps you've not quite got the speed yet, and that's fine, and you just really want to work on mobility. So work on being able to open out the hips, being able to work on stretching out those calf muscles and those tight ankles. Good work. We're almost there. 20 seconds. Breathing out as you're reaching up in that final position. 10 seconds left on this move. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Deep breath, stand up nice and tall. Are we ready? Squeeze those abs. Hinge, arm sweep up, W. Sweep back up, back down into T. And repeat. Breathing out when you're going into that end point. So, breathing out in the W, breathing out in the T. Good, keep it going. We're almost there. 20 more seconds. Should be starting to feel that in your back now. Back muscles should be feeling nice and toasty. Don't let the abs go. You can do it. Keep connecting with your body. That mind-body connection is so important. We can go through the motions, time, or we can make the movement worthwhile and purposeful. Well done. Okay. So, that was our first drill. Have a sip of water. We're going to go into drill number 2. We have 3 in total today. Same thing. 2 exercises back to back, 3 sets in total. Right. First exercise. We're going to do a squat and a front raise. So, we're going to squat down, hands go out in front. I'll do it side on position actually. So squat down, arms out in front. We're going to lift the knee and pull our hands or our elbows back. Can you see that my elbow is just a little bit below my shoulder? So it's not completely shoulder height because that would be too much stress on the shoulder, but it is relatively high. I'd say chest height. Coming back and we're squeezing those back muscles again. So we're working the all-important muscles for good posture. Right, if you struggle with your balance, just bring it to a squat, up and squeeze. If you want to add in a bit more technical balance and glute work, because we're working on glute medius, our stabilizing muscles, then add in the knee tuck. That's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is a back lunge with a floor tap. This is good. We're working on that hip mobility. So I'll do side on version. Feet hip width distance. I'm going to take my leg back. It's not quite a lunge, but it's a stretch out of the hip. My opposite hand comes down to the leg out in front. Now, perhaps you haven't got that range today. That's absolutely fine. So wherever you get, we're just aiming towards the floor. Coming up, standing up nice and tall. Remember that good posture. Switching arms. Coming all the way down, palms to the floor if you can. Or if your range is here, absolutely fine. Let's get going. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. I'm going to start that timer now. 5 seconds on, we're going to get ready in that squat position. Feet shoulder width distance apart. Chest up nice and high. Remember, the heels of the feet never leave the floor until we do the knee tuck. Ready? Arms out in front. Drive up. Knee tuck. Opposing arms. Now remember, we're working our upper back. So when you're bringing those arms back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep the chest nice and high. So that's our focus on the upper body. The focus on the mid part of the body. Squeezing those abs. So you can even do a grab. So as if you're grabbing and pulling something back. That will almost help you to squeeze those muscle groups. All right, and then driving up with the heels of your feet. Squeezing those glutes as you drive up. Knee comes up nice and high. 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Standing at the top of your mat. I'm going to take one leg back. Opposite hand goes down towards the ground. So all the way back. Remember, keep that chest up nice and high. Drive up through the heel. Good. So you want to make sure that this knee is in line with the toe. Want to make sure we're driving up with the heel and not the toes. So we're really working into those glutes today. Working into those inner and outer thighs. Good, good, good. And what must we not forget to do? We mustn't forget to squeeze those abs. Now 10 seconds left on this one. Keep going. Lovely. Bit of conditioning today. 10 seconds, back to the squat. Feet nice and wide. 4 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Squat forward. Squeeze back. All right, now we've got the move. I want you to keep those chests nice and proud. So if you've got a logo, or imagine you've got a logo on the front of your shirt, you've got to make sure everyone in front of you can see it. All right, keep it going. Breathing out as you're pulling back. 20 seconds on the timer. You're doing well, everyone. Keep that pace going. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. All right. Stand up nice and tall. Getting ready for that big back step. And away we go. Coming down. Driving up. Okay. You don't want the back too rounded. So if you can't keep it relatively straight, then just don't go as deep. Okay. Keep it going. Driving up with that heel. Breathing out as you're coming to a standing point. Keeping the movement nice and strong. Keep it going. We're almost there. 10 seconds. Doing well. 3, 2, 1. Always going to the final beat. All right, shoulders back, chest high. Get ready to go. Arms out in front. Really working on that hip ability today. flexibility in the legs, and the strength in the back. So it's really good. As long as you're maintaining that mind-body connection, really working into the muscles. Because you can make this as easy or as hard as you want, right? We can just go through the movement and the motions, but not really activate. So we're actually not moving our body efficiently or properly. Okay, 10 seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Final 50 seconds on the legs. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Nice. Breathing through it. Standing up nice and tall. You can even squeeze your glutes. That little bit extra on the way up. And the abs as well. So keep moving. Nice big back steps. Stretching out those legs. And then really driving up. And squeezing. And working into those glutes. And thigh muscles. 8 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time. Woo! Okay, grab yourself a sip of water. And now we're going to do our third and final drill. Okay. Right. We are taking it down to the floor for some ab work. Direct ab work with a little bit of upper body. So, we're going to lie down on the floor. The key note for this is to make sure that lower back is not arching. So we're doing a pelvic tilt. And what that means is that you're tilting your pelvis up. That bottom part of your pelvis up. And that's your pelvic tilt. Now that's great for stretching out your back muscles. It's also great for stretching out or activating those lower abs, which can really help reduce lower back pain by strengthening all of this lower area. So, our first exercise, we're going to do single leg raises. By all means, if you can do doubles, go ahead and do doubles. But we are working high rep. So, if you want to activate your core even more, you can lift your shoulders off the ground. But if you have neck issues, keep that head down on the floor. Palms facing down on the floor. One leg goes down, it comes up, and then you switch. Now you can do this nice and slow, or if you can maintain muscle activation, meaning you're squeezing those lower abs throughout, you can pick up the pace. Now for some of you, maybe that's a little bit too much, so what I want you to do is bend your knees into this 90-degree angle, and instead, you're stretching out that leg while squeezing those lower abs. Bring it in, stretching out that other leg, okay? So that's exercise number 1. Then we're going to work in a little bit of upper body. So you're either going to come to a box position, hands shoulder width or slightly wider. We're going to squeeze our abs and we're going to bring the chest in between the hands. Okay, so my hands are facing forward and my elbows are at a 45-degree angle. So they're not flared out like this, okay? For a specific reason, it will hurt your shoulder joint. So this is the very easy version. Box push up, then we're gonna go into a T-roll. Really opening out the abs, but also working and opening out the back. So it's a little bit back mobility, as well as core and upper body. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced than that, you can take it down even further with your knees. So bring the knees towards the end of the mat. Remember, chest is in between the hands. Push up and T-roll. Come back down, push up, T-roll. Ideally, you're going to the floor Making sure you're squeezing those abs on the way up. Remember, this is our ab set. So we're going to get started in 5 seconds. So get down on the floor. We're going to start with those leg raises. Okay? Remember that lower back must be flat against the floor. Legs up, squeeze. So we're either just having our head on the floor, or if you want to feel the squeeze more in your core, lift those shoulders up. Okay, you can really see how your abs are squeezing together. All right? So really focus on keeping them tight, drawing them in towards the center of the belly. Okay? Drawing that tailbone up towards the ceiling. 15 seconds. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. Up we come. You can use your knee to bring you up. Coming all the way around. Now either box position or knees all the way back. Starting on the floor. If you can, hands by the chest. Push up. T-roll. And then you can focus on lowering yourself down whilst activating the abs, but also pushing through your palms, making the chest muscles work hard on the way down as well as the way up. And this is just only going to improve your push-ups faster. Okay, so 15 seconds. Remember, the chest must be in between the hands, right? Not the head. There should be none of this because it becomes a shoulder workout. 3, 2, 1. All right. Coming all the way back down onto the back. Okay, I'll do the other version this time for anyone who's doing the other version. So knees in, hands flat on the floor, leg goes straight out. Okay. So even though this is the easier version, I want you to really focus on squeezing those lower abs. And if you feel like you can do a little bit more, lift the shoulders up. Really squeeze. Now, having a little bit of a clicking in the hip is not uncommon. What does it mean though? It means there's instability in the hip joint. Now that can mean your hips are uneven. It can mean there are some weak or tight muscles. So what you want to do is locate the leg that you got the click on, work on stretching and activating the muscles around that hip area. Time. Okay, coming up. Hand shoulder width slightly wider. I'm starting down on the floor. Hands by the chest, squeeze the abs, push through the palms, T-roll. Coming all the way down, but with control, pushing back, making sure the shoulders are away from the ears. We don't want those shoulders creeping up. I'll give you an example. Okay, so the shoulders sometimes come up towards the ears, rounding the back a little bit. And this is really taking away from the muscle groups that we're supposed to be working. So we're not working that muscle group efficiently. Therefore, progress is going to be slow, or maybe progress will be completely stopped altogether. Good, 10 seconds left on the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Third and final round. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Now you can even take the arms up if you want to up the ante just a little bit. So there's a little bit of extra tension on the core. Or maybe you want to keep them down here, palms down, or on the floor. It's completely up to you. So we want to go nice and steady, breathing through it. Only pick up the pace if you can maintain control. You should feel it. You'll feel that control go because you won't feel as much activation or as much squeeze in the core muscles. Good, 8 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Super good. All right, it's our final 50 seconds. So, don't forget about the abs in this one. All the way to the floor if you can. Shoulders down, push back, squeeze those abs. Having a strong core or strong core activation during your push-ups will actually improve them. So you'll be stronger. It'll give you a bit more power as you're pushing back, right? So there is method behind the madness. 20 seconds left. Breathing out as you're pushing back. You've got this. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Well done. Excellent. So that was more of a conditioning set, really working on opening out the hips, stretching out the hip area, activating those glute muscles, really working on the back as well, which can get neglected during a workout if it's not properly structured. So let's take it down to a stretch now. We'll take it to the floor and let's work on those muscle groups that we've actually been using today. So we're going to go straight into pigeon pose. So we're going to have our hands on the floor, take one step back. We're going to bring the front leg in, it's bent, so the knees coming up towards the hands. Then find a comfortable position. Want to open out the hips, make sure the hips are even and you're not tilted. Bring the elbows down to the floor, or perhaps you've got a bit of tension there, so you're going to stay up here. And we're going to take a lovely few deep breaths here, just relaxing into this cool down part of the workout. Once you feel that stretch, ease off just a little bit. You can increase the stretch, so whether you're up here, maybe you're coming down here, maybe you're down here already, and you can come all the way forward. Shift onto our bottom or onto our hip. And you can see the position I'm in. I'm in this really open position in the hips. Just going to bring that leg behind. Shuffle myself a little bit closer together. So I've got both knees bent in a diagonal direction. I'm going to take the hand, this is my right knee, behind my body, the hand of my right knee. I'm just going to lift up and stretch my arm. So not only am I stretching out this torso, opening out the hips, opening out that chest. I'm going to hold it here. And we're going to take it back down. Now, you can use your hands to switch position. So the knees are pointing to the other side now in this diagonal sort of position here. I'm going to take the arm behind the back. I'm going to lift up. So you might find one side is a little bit tighter than the other, or perhaps there's no tension at all in your hips. I'm going to hold it here. And bring it back down, lovely. I'm going to take the hands, we're going to go into that pigeon pose, but on the other side now. So I'm going to stretch out my back leg. I'm going to use my hands to push my body onto the front. And then I'm going to do what I did before, create space in the hips, make sure they're nice and square. Just hold it here, right? If you can come down a little bit lower, take it down. Once you've loosened up a little bit, you can take yourself into a deeper position. Take a deep breath and come all the way up. Right, come to a seated position. Gonna really hit into the glute, piriformis area, it's all around that hip area. What I want you to do is take one leg out in front, bring one leg over. Now, the simple way of doing this is just to pull that knee in towards your chest. You're going to feel stretched down here. Okay, lift that chest up. Now, if you've got a bit more mobility and you want to add in a back stretch, a little spinal twist, I'm going to take this hand and place it on the outside of the knee and push that knee into the body, but also look over the shoulder. And that we're getting a little bit of spinal twist, opening out the spine. And relax. Take the other leg out in front, bring the other one over. Either just pull in here or use the opposite arm and then push that arm into the knee, look round, over the shoulder. Enjoy the stretch in the glute, enjoy the stretch along the spine. And come back down. I'm going to finish off in child's pose. So really stretching out those back muscles and relaxing. So hips to heels. Bring the arms out in front. Elbows must be off the floor. Really pull those hands forward by keeping the hips to the heels of your feet. Take a deep breath. And relax. Well done, you did so well. We look forward to the next one.